Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good evening, everyone. On behalf of the Lovebird Fancier group, I'm delighted to welcome you all to this special gathering. As many of you know, Lovebird Fancier group was founded in November 2022 with the vision of promoting the lovebird hobby in the UAE. We saw a gap in awareness about these wonderful birds and wanted to create a space for new fanciers to connect and learn. We received immense support from all our members and always welcome constructive feedback as we aim to improve in whichever way possible. Each gathering or event has brought us closer, and we look forward to continuing this journey together. Unfortunately, Brother Abdullah Al-Kidwi could not join us due to the adverse weather conditions, but I'd like to take this opportunity and acknowledge the UAE BVA Club led by our esteemed guest, Mr. Abdullah Al-Kidwi, for their dedication to promoting lovebirds in the UAE. We are proud to collaborate with the UAE BVA Club in this mission. Tonight, we have the pleasure of hearing from several key members of our community. We will be calling them on stage one by one to share a few words with us. First up is a passionate breeder and a pillar of our local UAE BVA club. Jiju has played a crucial role in welcoming newcomers to our local club. Let's welcome Brother Jiju on the stage, please.
Good evening. First of all, thank you for giving me an opportunity to speak to you all this evening, and that too in the presence of Rahim Bhai, for gracing this occasion and spending some time with us on his visit to UAE. All this while we have only been kind of hearing to his voice notes. Maybe we are looking at his YouTube videos. Yeah, and once in a while maybe I had a casual chat with him on WhatsApp. So that has been going on for a while. Basically, what we are looking at, or what I like to share with you this evening is what we have been doing in the UAE. Me as a person, my friends, the club here, the traders that we talk to, and the hobbyists, and the other things that we basically are doing here in the UAE. We started this hobby, or me personally, with my friend Vinay, we started maybe way back in 2018. I think we were one of the first people to keep fishery here. That time we could not get any good quality fishery anywhere in Middle East as such. So I think we got our first birds from Egypt and maybe Bahrain, and that time we did not have enough knowledge or anything about the birds quality and things like that. Although I have kept birds back home maybe during my college times, that's in 2015 or 14. That time mostly the birds that we kept were coming from Thailand, and the famous farm there was, I think, Pin Lovebird farm by Yutanna. So most of the birds used to come from there. But then the hobby, the working with the birds and things like that was not very common, and there were no shows. Shows were usually happening mostly only in Europe, and birds were not accessible back then. So we are fortunate that we are in the middle of the world. UAE is a country which welcomes a lot of people from around the world, giving us a place to make it our home. It's giving us an opportunity here to do what we can, take risks, take steps forward to accomplish something. I think most of the countries, we don't have this kind of a process or procedures in place that, okay, we do this, the next, we have something coming, and it's all in place. But if it's in my country or some other country, we have a lot of protocols, we have a lot of issues that we have to deal with and move on with things. But then UAE has a stage set for us, and we are able to enjoy the benefits here thanks to the vision of the leaders here, their thoughtfulness about the people, their citizens, as well as we who are expats here, who they consider residents in their country. So it's our second home, and we have been lucky to be here. Also, we have been lucky to be part of the BVA club, uh, which has been doing a wonderful job in organizing shows for the Lovebird Fanciers here. Most of the expats here, like from Philippines, from Pakistan, the majority of them, and from India. The next point that I would like to talk about is about the birds that we acquire and how we keep them and what we should be doing with them. I always suggest that we should buy the best and not waste time on taking a lot of birds and not focusing on their quality, or where you're buying from and what their parents are, your grandparents are. Without knowing them, don't get any birds. Let's focus on the quality, keep the basics right, and then build on it. So this is something that we all as hobbyists should continue to work on. Yeah, there are times that the market is up, the market is down. We are all in also to make the birds pay for themselves, at least for their feed, the real estate, I mean the cage they stay in. It's a square feet, right? Like they are occupying a square feet of space. Okay, it costs so much rent. I stay in a rented apartment here, and each of the square feet costs me. I need to pay every month. So I think the same matters to you. When you're keeping birds, you have to try to take the best out of this each square feet of space that you keep at home. So they have to pay for their feed, they have to pay for their rent, they have to pay for your time, they have to pay for your investments. So our choices have to be very careful, and we need to take things that way. And as a hobby, Dubai is a trader's market. We have to be very careful about that. The minute you and I start keeping one color, you see that the next day a trader gets 200 of them from somewhere. So I also like to thank the hobbies in Pakistan especially. I kind of am in touch with few of them there, and we have people also coming in from Pakistan to UAE at times. Like recently we had Naveed coming. We had Umair Masood Chowdhury coming, also the other Chowdhury. So the three friends who were here, we're glad to host them. UAE BBA Club had hosted them here. It was nice to have them here. I also like to take this time to appreciate the work of some senior fanciers there, like Rahim Bhai, Tahir Sheikh Bhai, who works on Opalines. I also like to thank Face Bhai. I think he works a lot with greens, and I think he's helped a lot of people with good greens in Pakistan. A lot of good traders like Akil Bukhari Sahab, who's bought a lot of good birds for all of you. Then we have people like Adnan Saki, who's also got some lot of good birds, Mr. Kamran, and we have Adnan Shahi and all these people. They are doing a good job and trying to push this hobby the right way. We also see that the Pakistani women fanciers, they're doing a great job trying to bring this up as a cottage industry and help push this hobby down the homes, so each of them can have some kind of an income, and they're having a lot of get-togethers. We have seen that the Lovebird Society of Pakistan has taken a stand in pushing the hobby the right way, and a lot of women fanciers getting involved in the fancy, and also motivating and inspiring other women to come into the hobby and also participate along with you all, shoulder to shoulder. So that's again something great that we see happening from Pakistan. Pakistan has been an inspiration to many aviculturists. I know we are all crazy. Pakistan is very crazy. We have great aviculturists like Mustafa Hamdan. I think he's got one of the largest and the best collections in the world for Asiatic parakeets. So I think that has also gone back to Pakistan, wherein a lot of people there also kind of got inspired and motivated to keep a lot of Asiatics as well. So this way, I think Pakistan has also been pushing a lot of households to get into this hobby. Also, all your blogs and your social media activities has definitely given us a push. And I think although UAE is a small place, we have constraints here like the space and the real estate, which is expensive. We hope to do our part in this hobby in the years to come in a way that we can with the limited space and things like that. But I'm sure we all will do good, and we continue to thank you, and we continue to have your discourses time to time, and let's see where we get. And I'm sure we are all going to do good. Let's all meet always with that brotherhood and with the friendliness and the task of uplifting each other. So this is all that I have to say for you this evening. It went on for too long. Thank you again. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Brother JJ. Truly inspirational words. Next up is a dear friend, a renowned breeder, and a mentor to many. Brother Vinay, please join us on the stage.
Hi all, I'm Vinay. I'm not as well prepared for this as Jiju was, but what really makes me happy with this event is that I see everyone here together, and Jiju touched upon this when he started. When we I've been keeping fisheries since 2018, where I saw a photo of an Opaline Euwing bred by Dominic Weekmans, and I sent him a photo on WhatsApp, and I was like, I want this. And then he took the trouble of organizing the birds for me from Egypt, and it's just, I've never looked back since then, And one of my personal favorites is that I love mutations. I've been passionate about the genetics and that aspect of all birds, not just lovebirds, since 2011. So I used to read a lot, watch articles, read articles, look online forums back then, and there was no information whatsoever. And come 2019, come 2020, it just exploded with the the Pakistan YouTubers, and it just became accessible to everybody. So in the past, I would have people asking me, how do I breed an opaline? What do I do with the edged or whatever? And then I would go and read something, and then I'll try and form an answer for them, and maybe ask someone for help, and come up with an answer. But now that's not required anymore, and it just shows how much the hobby is advanced. And even someone who's relatively new can access the information which it took me 10 plus years to build up. And this shows how we've progressed as a hobby completely. And what I would hope, and this is something which I would really like to see, is information on the show workings, because until recently I was never much involved in shows. I like breeding the birds, I like keeping the husbandry aspect of it as well, but not so much on showing the birds. And including myself, we find we get quite nervous displaying our love to people around us, and someone's judging it, and it gets stressful. But people have encouraged, and last show I even did pretty well, thanks to Jiju and Rui and few other people who guided me. So I keep pushing people even now. The clubs here themselves have played a massive role. I pushed Mr. Raheel to enter a bird which won something. So I'm trying to push people individually one by one. And what I like to do personally is to help people to form their path. So I'm always open to a discussion with people. People ask me, Mustafa as well, I've known him for a long time. And he's, I think he had my first Parblues. And I think Sister Aline as well, who did well in the show, even she got a Parblues from me in 2019. So, I've helped people to try and get more involved in the hobby. Brother Akhtar as well. We've had great conversations in the past, and it's great to see that people are over here together, and it's ballooned into a great, I would say, movement, right? And we're all going together in one direction, and the mutations themselves are never ending, and as soon as you think you have 3 more show up on a photo somewhere. and then you want to have that. And I personally, despite liking this quality and the standards, I like colors. I mean, who doesn't, right? We all love our mutations, and we have access to birds around the world. So UAE is in a very central location where we have the advantage of getting birds from Europe, from the east, and so on. And what we should look to do is to try and build enough production of it, and we don't have to spend too much on it. I know we can dedicate maybe one cage, one row of cages on the side of your house, and I think it's not difficult to do. So, but then what I would stress upon even more is that you need to keep the standards. The standards are what are important, and everyone says standards, quality, but then until you see the birds in person and until someone guides you, it's very difficult, because green opalines look almost the same, right? It's difficult to know, right? And until someone who's experienced can guide you through the right path, how do you know, right? So that's where forums such as this, clubs, online articles, YouTube videos. I would not go too much on videos, but interpersonal interactions and meetups. This is where they play a very big role in the hobby. And you need to have people dedicated, to give back to the community as well. And everyone here is taking, I used to do it with individuals, and now I see people, doing it with the entire group, and that's what brings us all together. So my only point is this, let's keep it going. Let's come together. Let's try and put our differences apart, because we are all people at the end of the day, and we may disagree, we agree, we get along, not get along, but the birds are the primary focus. So let's try to keep that in mind, and enjoy a nice evening.
Everyone and good evening. अस्सलाम वालेकुम रहीम भाई. शायद आपको मालूम है, मैं आपसे काफ़ी बार प्राइवेट चैट कर चुका हूँ व्हाट्सएप पे. So I think Jiju and Vin already covered everything. So I will just explain my experience only. So I will not take much time. Actually, I started breeding Roseicollis in 2016, and when I saw some videos from Mr. Rahim Bhai, Naveed Sheikh, and then Karachi breeder Arsalan, and Haris is there. So I get inspired with these videos. Then I still remember a day when me and Akhtar in Sharjah market, and we are searching for a normal green fisher, and we couldn't find out any single green fisher in Sharjah market. Then luckily I met with Mr. Vinay, and he guided me too much in fisheries. And as he told you before, that I got my first pair of Parblue from him. I used to keep around 60 pairs up till last year. Now I reduced from 60 to 14, but mostly are 50-50 are like some Roseicollis and fisheries also. But recently I just started with Pale Fallows, but I'm making my own splits with Opalines. So I wish UAE that we will achieve the best in the fishery and the Roseicollis, and we are going on a right way. Inshallah, we will see best out of us. Thank you.
Next up is a respected breeder with a great personality and a friend to many of us, Brother Rovi. Please come on stage. We need to hear in Tagalog, huh? Tagalog.
Hi, good evening, everyone. First, I just want to thank God for this gathering, the one who will bring here right now, Brother Akhtar, Brother Rahil, and Abrar. Thank you. And then I just want to welcome Sir Rahil for visiting us here in UAE. Sir, maraming salamat. Mabuhay po kayo. I just want to share something. Because everything is Sir Jiju and Vinay shared everything here in UAE. Only I want to share what happened to me during this breeding. I started last 2021. My first breeders came from Sir Jiju, this misty green Euwing Opaline. The first chick that I produced is my champion bird here in UAE. So that's why I say thank you to Sir Jiju, because of this bloodline I start to develop. And then the first time I joined in the show, I got the champion. And then after this, I keep on, I just want to focus, and then I want to bring more to improve my breeding here. So to my kawayans, I just want to tell them that just focus to your hobby, because this hobby is only you will enjoy, and then you will release your stress, and at the same time you will earn something. And then to my friends and brothers, and then right now the fishery here in UAE is getting bigger and bigger. They're bringing more good mutation right now. So good luck to everyone, and then thank you for everything.
Next up is a dear friend and someone who holds strong mutational knowledge and has been an active member of our Lovebird Fancier group. Brother Ahmed Faraz, please come on stage.
Assalamu alaikum everyone, good evening and very warm welcome Reem Saab. You've inspired us a lot. I was already in the hobby. I wouldn't say aviculturist, I was a hobbyist. I was keeping a lot of budgies and lovebirds. I mean, when I first first got introduced, I saw a few pictures and I found those birds amazingly beautiful. I'm a huge fan of colors like Vinay is, and I was always hoping to, like, when I had budgies, one thing that I felt was I was breeding the normal kind of small budgies first, and then I moved into something a slightly bigger size. They were called king size here or something like that, and then I actually went into the like show lines. But I felt that those birds were not very cheerful. They would cheer up, but they were not very cheerful. But when I saw the lovebirds, when I saw the activity and all that kind of stuff, so I found that fascinating, the colors and all that kind of stuff. So I started keeping them 2 years ago. And when I started keeping them, I already had some knowledge of how genetics work from budgies. And when I started reading about the lovebirds, and when I saw the amount of colors and mutations, I was blown up. And they're still increasing, right? There's many mutations that are still not on the calculator. And I love using the calculator, by the way. So one thing that I strive to keep in my birds is the vitality, which I thought that the budgies kind of lost when they became so big and they weren't able to fly. I mean, a lot of the times when my budgies used to get out of the cage, they would just like land in 5 feet. And I thought that, what's happening here? So when I moved to lovebirds, and so the whole thing, the point of the mentioning this is that we need to keep the vitality of the birds. I think that is very, very important. So initially when I kept the lovebirds, I kept them in small cages. And same thing happened. I mean, these birds are very smart, right? Once they grow up, they learn how to open the cages and all that kind of stuff. So the bird came out, and again it landed in and it didn't know how to fly really well. But then I thought that if I let this bird out in the cage for, let's say, a few days, within a few days, it was pretty much impossible to catch that bird. So that is the natural strength and vitality of that bird. I would highly recommend everyone to give your birds as much space as possible. Keep them happy, and I think that makes them strong. And I think just like us, I mean, if we exercise, we become very strong, right? So I think it's very important for them. So since then time, I by the way have a controlled. I mean, my balcony is covered, so it's controlled. It has AC on it, so I can breed pretty much year round. So what I do is I try and give rest to most of my pairs and just have some of them breed. Breeding is, again, I mean, I've been fascinated, and I love breeding birds, and the first egg coming and the chicks hatching and then growing up and then weaning them and all that kind of stuff. That is very interesting. So all about birds and everything, I think everybody knows a lot more about the birds than me. But one thing that I really appreciate is the breeders themselves. I think breeders are very compassionate people. They have some sort of a compassion in their heart. They have the love for nature, the love for those birds. And I think that is something that makes every breeder, everybody in this room very, very special. And I really, really appreciate that. I've made very close friends, me and Zishan. We used to be neighbors, and we used to have tea sessions sometimes in his aviary, sometimes in mine. That have been really, really great. And yeah, these were all my thoughts. I didn't prepare a speech or anything, but this is what I think about the hobby, that this hobby is amazing just because of the people as well, and the birds are amazing too. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Brother Ahmed Faraz, for your truly inspirational words.